What's up guys, Artem MMA Analysis here. It continues to be a sad day for the channel because it's Thursday where I'm at right now in New Zealand, and Thursday is when I would start to research the card for the following Wednesday for Dana White's Contender Series, because the fights were on Wednesday in New Zealand, Tuesday night in the USA, Wednesday in Wednesday here, and that's about the time where I'll be starting research for the next card. There's no Dana White's Contender Series, so we've got to look forward to Road to UFC Abu Dhabi. These fights are taking place the day after the biggest pay-per-view of the year, UFC 280. I think they'll probably get more viewers the day before, but hey, it is what it is. They really want to focus on UFC 280. I don't blame them. I think this is going to be great. If you guys don't know what the Road to UFC is, it's pretty much an 8-man tournament taking place across 4 weight classes, 4 fighters all over Asia, and the winner is going to get a contract. And I believe the finalists get a contract as well, so there might be quite a bit of stakes for these guys. But yeah, let's just not waste too much time. That was an almost 1-minute intro. I'm sorry for it taking so long. Zayi versus Kiyomi Matsushima. Coming into the tournament, Kiyomi Matsushima was one of my picks to win the entire thing, based on the level of competition that this guy had fought. You look at his last five fights: 7-1, 12-3, 10-3, 5-0. You know, not all of those wins, but yeah, he beat Jun Young Hong by split decision. Zayi looked much more impressive in my opinion, defeated Keisuke Sasu by submission in the very first round. You know, he does have a loss to Karamawali, Mai Matahihi, and I botched his name, I'm sorry, I tried, who got eliminated in the first round, so maybe a red flag there, but I'm going to be picking Zayi to win. I think that he should win by submission here. Matsushima has great judo, he's got great striking as well. I think Matsushima is probably the better striker out of the two, but Zayi's got pretty good jiu-jitsu. I'm going to pick Keelun to win this one, and I might be picking Keelun to win the whole thing. I'm still on the fence on Top Noi Karama and Keelun, but I think Keelun should be able to win this matchup here. He looked great. By decision over Wallendale Rosario, who didn't look like a -700 favourite like he was, or something absolutely ridiculous like that. But Seunguk Choi, coming into this, I wasn't too high on him. He proved me wrong big time. Fought Ramos Apandi, who was 8-3 at the time. At the time, Seunguk Choi was 4-1 over this competition. That's why I was not so high on Seunguk Choi, but he's looking great. He's fighting out a Korean Zombie MMA. Obviously, the Korean Zombie is tutoring a lot of these South Korean fighters, but I'm going to pick Keelun to win this matchup here. He got robbed on Dana White's Contender Series. That's why he's on the show off a loss, so I'm going to be picking Keelun to win this one here. Now we move on, Top Noi Karam versus Hyun-Sung Park. It is no secret, I love Top Noi Karam. This guy is hilarious. The way that he walks out and stares at the camera, the way that he just yells random things in the fight, the way that he's talking to commentary during the fight. This guy is so funny, and if he becomes like a big star, if he gets signed to the UFC, they put him on like a fight night or even a pay-per-view card on the prelims or something like that in front of a crowd. This guy will build up the crowd, man. This guy is so funny. I love Top Noi Karam. Hyun-Sung Park looks pretty good over Jeremiah Sirigar, but yeah, he hasn't fought the greatest competition before. Then Top Noi Karam has a great Muay Thai skill set. He does have a couple of losses to really good competition over at Ryzen. I like Top Noi Karam. Also, I forgot to note it, he beat Yuma Horiguchi, who's a UFC level fighter. Yuma Horiguchi has a split decision loss to Charles Johnson, who's in the UFC right now, and he's got a couple of really good regional scene losses over at LFA. So Yuma Horiguchi is a great win for Top Noi Karam. I'm picking Top Noi Karam to win the fight. Jun Park got a first round KO in his last fight, but I'm going to pick Karam to win this one. Minwoo Kim versus Toshioni Kazama. This is a tough one. Minwoo Kim has not fought for about 3 years now, which is absolutely insane. But he's got a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Toshiyomi Kazama has a brown belt in Jiu-Jitsu, but Toshiyomi does have a great judo background. But on the feet, I think that Minwoo Kim is the better fighter. But that's if he shows up like he did 3 years ago, you know what I mean? It's a tough one because he hasn't fought for so long, but I really do believe that Minwoo Kim should win this fight. You might wonder why he's in the quarterfinals, even though he hasn't fought yet. It's because his original opponent, Long Zhao, was forced to pull out of the fight. So yeah, so now Minwoo Kim, weighed in and made it through to the next round, so he got a bye pretty much, but he should be able to beat Toshiyomi in a very competitive fight. And now you've got the bonus fight. This fight is not a tournament fight, this is like the bonus fight of the night. Balojin taking on Keisuke Sasu. I'm going to pick Balojin to win this one here. He actually has fought at 155 in the past. He hasn't fought the greatest competition at all, but he has got a very experienced 23-3 record. I think that he should win this matchup here. He was meant to fight at 155 in the tournament, but unfortunately he got COVID just before weighing in, or something along those lines, so he's forced to pull out last minute. And yeah, now he's fighting Keisuke Sasu. Keisuke actually lost to Zayi, who's fighting on later on the card, so it's a little bit strange that he's got this opportunity, but they're probably expecting Balajin to win. Balajin is a wrestler, and he really does grind out using his wrestling. He's got great wrestling. He's going to be the bigger fighter, which is going to work. I think he's going to grind and wrestle until he gets a victory. At 24-3, I think the UFC would be a little bit silly to not sign him. I think that he's a great fighter. I think that he could be something for the Chinese MMA scene. We move on to episode number 6. This is actually taking place on the same night, just a different episode for some reason. Look at the main event. Kai Lu versus Jung Yong Lee. Jung Yong Lee also got a bye. He hasn't... He didn't get a bye. I'm an idiot. I thought that was the Road FC logo, not the Road to UFC logo. But, yeah, I'm picking Jung Yong Lee in this matchup here for sure. Kai Lu, I was really not sold on him, like, whatsoever, coming in. I didn't have much nice thing to say about him. And he proved me wrong. He proved me wrong big time. He beat Anger Hans and looks pretty good doing it. But Jung Yong Lee... Man, this guy looked great against Binzi. Binzi fought on Dana White's Contender Series, lost a split decision. I think he won that decision, so he probably should have been in the UFC anyway. And Jung Yong Lee just submits him in the first round with an armbar easily. You know, this guy is good, and it was his first time fighting in 3 months. Now that he's had some cage time, some experience behind him now, I think he's ready to take on Liu Kai. I think he should be able to get past Liu Kai, and it's going to be a very exciting fight for as long as it lasts. But 3% picking Liu Kai, man. Everyone fading Liu Kai. Only 29 votes, but yeah, I see what they mean. But now we've got a weird one. Rinya Nakamura, 5-0. I'm really sorry about that, guys. Rinya Nakamura, I'm picking him to win the whole thing. I've picked him to win the whole thing for since the beginning. You know, I rate Rinya Nakamura very, very highly. This guy is crazy. He's got World Championship Wrestling background. He's got, I believe, Japanese national wrestling background. He come in beating Alejandro Catano, who's actually fought quite a few high-level fighters on the regional scene. You look at this guy's record, man. You might recognize a couple of names. Yayo Elias, he beat him, and Yayo Elias is fighting on Dana White's Contender Series week number 10. He's coming up on the next one. Diego Ribeiro, 9-2. Pretty big name. João Paulo Santos. I mean, I think he's gone on to do something. I mean, he beat a guy that was 17-3, but that main win, Jairo Elias, is the one that I'm looking at. He's on week 10 of Dana White's Contender Series. Rinya Nakamura beat him. He beat Gugun Guzman. There was a little bit of controversy because he was landing a few back of the head shots. But this guy's wrestling is so good. Shohei Noze, he won by knee injury to Wiligi Burren, a former UFC fighter, a guy that actually used to be on the UFC roster. And yeah, Nakamura, I think he's going to beat this guy, man. I think he's going to use his wrestling. He's going to win the fight. I'm really expecting Nakamura to look good in this matchup here. I rate him very highly. In fact, I might rate him too highly, but I rate him highly. Jika Aspirado Saragi taking on Wanbin Ki. Jika got in taking on Pawan Mansinj, who honestly didn't look amazing. Pawan Mansinj did not look that good. Wanbin Ki, though, also fought a guy that wasn't too amazing. He fought the 4-1 Genosuke Kashimura, who took the fight on like 3 days' notice. So I'm going to cough again. I apologize, Tim. Hold on. I'm still sick, unfortunately. I'm sorry. But Wanbin Ki, this guy's massive for 155. He's just huge. And he beat up Genosuke Kashimura quite a bit. Genosuke had his moments. He had his moments in the grappling, but he did get beaten up quite a bit by Wanbin Ki towards the end. But this guy took the fight on like 3 days' notice. I don't blame that at all. But, yeah, I think Wanbin Ki should win this matchup here over Jika Espirito. Jika Espirito looked good, but he looked good over a guy that just didn't look good. And that's just how it is. I'm going to pick Ki to win this matchup. So many people picking Saragi. That's interesting. I think Wanbin Ki wins this one, though. I think it should be a pretty fun matchup. Now, Kyung Pyo Kim taking on Anshul Jubli. How much do you trust the Indian regional scene? It's getting better. Matrix Fight Night is actually really good. I love Matrix Fight Night. They've got very high production levels for a free YouTube show. When I was watching them, I actually think Matrix Fight Night's doing great things over in India. But yeah, just how much do you trust that competition that he's been fighting? It's a tough one though. I mean, yeah, Kang Po Ping beat Asakabai, who has actually beaten a lot of fighters that are actually on the road to UFC right now. And I rate that the most. I'm going to pick Kang Po Kim to win as well. If Angel Jubilee wins, though, it could be pretty big for Indian MMA. I mean, Matrix Fight Night is doing big things right now. I believe Bollywood Stars own Matrix Fight Night, which is the competition that Angel Jubilee come up in. So yeah, I think Matrix Fight Night is definitely going to be something one day. But yeah, I'm going to pick Kang Po Kim, and in the final fight, or the first fight, episode 6, but the final fight I'm going to talk about, Yolong Zhao taking on Felipe Lima. I think Felipe Lima wins this one. Both of these guys super young, 24 years old. Long Zhao, super experienced, fought on Dana White's Contender Series and lost to Christian Canones, who's now gone on to win in the UFC, which is always a pretty good look. I mean, it's not that bad of a loss anymore, but he hasn't fought great competition. He's bounced back over not the greatest competition at all. Felipe Lima's 11-1 over pretty good competition. I'm expecting him to get the win here. I think Felipe Lima should win this one. And yeah, that's kind of like my early preview and predictions. Let me know what you think of Road to UFC in the comments below. Hopefully that wasn't too long. That was a 10-minute video. Nailed it on the 10-minute video. If you know, you know. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you watched it all the way, yeah, there's going to be so many more Road to UFC videos coming out. Obviously, I'll do predictions, I'll do research, this and that. I might talk about the odds if the odds drop sometime soon. So yeah, keep an eye out on the channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Like 70% of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, so I really would appreciate that. But if you have already, thank you very much for the subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.